All right, friends. Yeah, we're back for another video, another week of Premier League football, which I'm super excited about. Not gonna lie, this is a little bit bittersweet because this is gonna be our last video we're gonna do together, at least in this regular format, and that's not forever, but just because the season's coming to an end. And as you know, if you've been following, we have not been simming or previewing the Conference League games because I cannot sim those on FIFA. However, that doesn't mean we're gonna stop making videos. Throughout the summer, we're gonna be doing something different. We're gonna be doing some squad assessments, looking at how have people been performing, how have position groups been performing, where do we need to improve, potential transfer targets, all that kind of stuff. So super excited about that. Looking forward to kind of diving into a different kind of content, not match related, not match centric, but basically we're gonna squad build together this summer and kind of try to keep up to date with news, with articles, with updates, all that stuff. Do that all together. Probably stuff you're used to seeing on some other pages, but also we'll keep up a little bit with the Club World Cup matches as well. But past that, I do want to do a couple things today because we have a massive match this Sunday against Nottingham Forest at their place. Okay, so we hopped over here to FC25, and again, this is the last sim, which if you have been following, they've been going not just not well, but terribly, like really bad. I believe last week I was trash talking Man United, and then we lost in the simulation. So terrible scenes. But hopefully that won't happen today. Before we hop into building a squad together, I just want to say this game is essentially a final. It's essentially a cup final. We're playing Nottingham Forest at Nottingham Forest. We have been poor away from home, but to be fair, they have been poor at home. So those things may kind of offset each other and make it an even playing ground. Also, we have been fairly in form recently. Nottingham Forest have been fairly out of form. Did they beat West Ham? Yes, but who doesn't beat West Ham at this point, which is kind of weird to say because I remember them being a pretty tough customer for years and years past, but this year's not the case. So anyway, this is a huge match, guys. In the span of the FC Chelsea, the fake Chelsea that we're running, we're not really in the running for Champions League, I don't think anymore. But who knows what will happen. Crazier things have happened. So let's go ahead and hop in here and build our squad. So let's start in the back and just talk about this. Rob, as a whole in this season, well, let's not sugarcoat it. Not what we need, right? Not what we need. He definitely could be a keeper for a decent side in the Premier League, probably. I would say mid-table. You probably would say put him in the championship max. I don't think that's the case. I think he can be a great shot stopper. He just has many mistakes in him. I think if you put him in a team that does not want to play out from the back, but just let him boot it, I think he's really honestly not too bad of a keeper, but he's not up to Chelsea's level. So, but he is up to Chelsea's level for this game because I don't think Jorgensen is going to take his spot. So he'll start. And then on the right, this is going to be my first change. So Malo Gusto is not going to be starting. I don't think there's any problems there. I think that Reece James will start this game. And I'm pivoting, if you're noticing, away from the Caicedo right back thing because, you know, I've been putting that in the past games because that's what's been happening. And I think there's this idea, I like the idea of Lavia, Caicedo, and Fernandez being together, but I don't think it's necessary. And I don't think for this game it's what we need. Because the way Nottingham Forest play, it's very transitional. They have their electric wingers in, sad to say, Callum Hudson-Odoi and also Anthony Elenga. And they're so fast, the way they streak down the field is electric, just like immediate, right? And I think it'd be good for us to have some by trade fullbacks to slot in here and take care of business. So we'll have Reece there, and then in the center back departments, we'll have Trev Chalobah and Levi Colwill. I have not been changing this because I don't see what precedent there's been for Chalobah to be taken out, even though he has been off and on. So I think it should be Trev, it should be Colwill. So yeah, Chalobah and Colwill in the middle there because I think there's no reason why they shouldn't be taken out. I think they're our best pairing. Fofana if he's available, but he's never available. So there, Mark Cucurella at the left back for sure. This 3 is not changing for me. Also, sorry if it's blurry. Sometimes the remote play gets really funky. But I'll talk you through it. So we'll have Moises and Fernandez for sure. They're playing off each other. Fernandez kind of moving forward in possession to help Palmer and kind of put some more danger inside the box. And then Palmer, of course, in the 10 position. And then next in the front three, I am going to take out Tyreek from the starting 11. Not because I think he's done anything necessarily wrong, but I just think the extra experience will be important for this game. I really do think it will be. And I think we need all the experience we need for this kind of elimination final type of game. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put Sancho at false 9. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to flip-flop basically every single one of these guys. So I'm going to put Pedro in the false 9, which he has done before, and then I'm going to flop Nani back to his natural right and Sancho onto the left. I've been saying this for a while. I think Jaden's been playing pretty well the last quarter of this season, and I think we should let him have a run at this game with those boys up top because they're our most experienced. They have produced the most out of anybody that's available, and I think that's what we're going to go with. I do think that's what we'll see. So on the bench, I think Mark Gu might get a minute or two. I feel like he'll probably just finish out the season without touching the grass, but I think you'll see George come off the bench. I think you'll see Gusto probably come off the bench, and Lavia, probably those will be your three I think you'll see come off onto the pitch. So starting from the back, you see we have Robert Sanchez holding down the fort, hopefully getting a clean sheet here. And then on the right, Reece James. In the middle, Trevor Chalobah, and then Levi Colwill, and then on the left, Mark Cucurella. And then in the middle, we have Moises, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and Cole Palmer. And then the front three is Winger Palace. It's not Crystal Palace, Winger Palace. We got Jadon Sancho, Pedro Neto, and Nani Madueke. So that's our squad. Let's go ahead and sim it and see how we do. I'm concerned. Oh my goodness. Guys, I would love to see that. Can you imagine? Okay, also, I should have said this beforehand. What I did with the simulation is I went into sim settings and I changed it from simulation style to classic style, because if you've been watching lately, the lack of any scoring from any team has been absolutely abysmal to see simmed. So I didn't change it from legendary. It's still on legendary, but I made it to classic simulation, which is a little bit more event heavy. So you see that happen here, and we actually get a win, so that's huge. We have bulk of possession, bulk of shots, bulk of chances, and the bulk of goals. So the scores are, let's start from the start. Yeah, Jadon Sancho in the 4th minute, so he gets rewarded for his time. Jadon Sancho again in the 39th minute, has a brace. Cole chips in 64th minute, and then Jadon Sancho with a hattie. Jadon Sancho finishes this team with a hat trick saying, "You better keep me at this club." How amazing would that be? So we get the 4-2 dub. Let's see what that does with our place in the table. We finish in 6th position, which would get us possibly Europa League. In real life, that would be Europa League. I don't know what it'll do in this, but all right, we finished with a win anyway, so that's good. Okay, guys, so yeah, that was the end of the sim. I'm happy we got to end on a positive note for this sim series, because this 24-25 series of season sims has been kind of sad lately, but it ended on a good note. So that is what I'd love to see in this match on Sunday. I will say I'm exceedingly nervous about it. We need to win. There are some avenues in which we could get Champions League football without winning if we draw, but we need to win. Let's not joke about it. We need to win. I think it will be edgy. I think Nottingham Forest are a solid team, even though they've had a hiccup. They've had a great season. I think they're going to battle. They're still in this race. They want it bad. But I do think we'll win. I think it'll be 2-1. I think it'll be 2-1. I think we'll get 2 goals. The scorers, I do think we don't really tend to get scoring from our center backs on any corners or anything like that, but I do think possibly we'll get one from the fullbacks. I'd love to see a Reece James goal in this game, one of his absolute belters from outside the box, and then possibly I think Cole might get us a score sheet on this weekend. So you guys go ahead and let me know down below, what do you think the final result of this match is, the end of our Premier League campaign, the decider for Champions League? Who do you think is going to win, Chelsea or Nottingham Forest? So it's been an awesome time, guys. Let's look forward to this whole slate of summer content we have coming up next.